Incredible. One of the worst performances of my career, and they never doubted it for a second. How could I possibly be expected to handle school on a day like this? This is my ninth sick day this semester. It's getting pretty tough coming up with new illnesses.
I didn't know this was a Bob Dylan song.
It is. It's the opening.
Hi, everybody. My name's Todd Adams.
This is Cathy Adams.
Welcome back to another episode of Zen Pop Parenting. This is episode number 826, also known as episode number what, sweetie?
Well, this is our 9th Zen Pop Parenting episode. But as Todd said, we've been episoding for 15 years. So this is Zen Pop Parenting, where Gen X pop culture meets real life reflection. And today we are going to be talking about exactly what we just listened to. We're going to be talking about Ferris and the dude from The Big Lebowski and the art of doing nothing.
The dude abides.
That's right. So these two were teachers in how to do nothing, but from a very different perspective.
He has been absent 9 times.
9 times.
9 times.
And this is our 9th episode, sweetie.
Oh, weird.
Isn't that weird?
We did not plan that, but that's sometimes the way things are. They're synergistic.
I just told you I didn't have a hot take, but I just came up with one.
Let's hear it.
Boy, it's hot. This is hot. Never got this hot in Brooklyn. It's like Africa hot. Tarzan couldn't take this kind of hot.
This isn't much of a hot take, but it's a hot question.
Let's hear it.
Desert Island, you can only bring one of these two movies
boy.
with you.
Oh, boy.
Which one is it going to be?
This is hard because I think there'd be more to dig into in Lebowski, meaning like you could watch it from all different angles. You know, there's so many things in that movie that are so random and weird. But I think I would still have to go with Ferris because it would remind me of my own self and Chicago and all the things that are important to me being a Gen Xer.
That's I'm on the other side.
Okay.
And maybe it's because I've seen Ferris 4 times as many times as I've seen Lebowski.
Yeah.
And there's certain parts of Lebowski that that are just not that fun. Like the whole Julianne Moore part, like I just want to see the guys in the bowling alley. So
Donnie?
I know I'm talking out of both sides. Oh, by the way, this is going to have to be an explicit one because there's no way I could play
I know there's too many
clips
F-bombs.
from Lebowski without F-bombs. So if you are a parent listening to this with your children, don't.
Or just, you know,
Put in your headphones.
entertain them with something else.
Put in your headphones.
Because the clips, they all have F-bombs. That's just the way the Lebowski, that the dude rolls.
Are we going to set the scene?
Do you want to have my hot take or are we saving it?
No. Go ahead. Your hot take.
So we're just jumping in
Yeah.
because we don't usually start with hot takes, but my hot take, it's pretty hot. You ready? I think Jeannie Bueller was right. And she had every reason to be annoyed at her brother.
That's a very good. I'm not saying I agree with you, but it's an important hot take.
Yeah. Everybody worships him. He doesn't make great. I mean, when I say he doesn't make great choices, he's not following the rules. He gets away with everything. She does not. You know, she gets the car. Yes. But she, at the same time, she's a justice warrior and she's like, this is not fair. And she's right.
Yeah.
It's not.
That is a hot take. I'm going to give you a less hot take.
Okay.
This is more of a lukewarm take.
Okay.
Because everybody already knows it.
Okay.
This movie is all about Cameron.
Of course. He's
The whole movie is about Cameron, even though it's called Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and you just brought up Jeannie.
Jeannie.
Shauna. This is all about Cameron's journey.
Well, I will say, I think it's also about Jeannie's.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yes.
All right.
Not as much as Cameron. Cameron is really who the movie is about. No doubt about it. I don't think it's that hot of a take. But Jeannie grows too.
Yeah.
Does Ferris change at all?
Not really, no.
But Cameron and Jeannie do.
Are we ready to set the
Let's
scene?
go. Set the scene.
All right, sweetie. Go ahead and set the scene for us.
Okay, let's start with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So this is kind of like, you know, we're talking about the art of doing nothing, and Ferris's whole thing was like the fun rebellion. Okay, so that's his art of doing nothing. Is I'm going to have fun. It's in the 1980s and in suburban Chicago, specifically in Highland Park, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think they were at Glenbrook North for the high school, but it's always the same 3 or 4 suburbs that John Hughes tends to do his thing in.
And this is one of the first John Hughes movies where he goes into the city. So you get to see a lot of the beautiful parts of the city. So Ferris skips school with his girlfriend Sloane and his best friend Cameron for a very spontaneous day in the city. They do the art museum, they do baseball game, they do a fancy lunch, the parade, and have a bunch of existential insights. So the main villain is the principal. He is
Ed Rooney.
Ed Rooney. That was my question at a trivia game the other night, and I couldn't pull it up. Remember?
I don't remember that.
The question was, what's the principal's name? I'm like, I know, but I couldn't get it. He's obsessed with catching Ferris, and he also believes his bigger idea. The reason why he's the villain in this is he thinks that teenagers should be busy, responsible, on track, and that is what Ferris is rebelling against. So,
Ed Rooney, Ferris, I'd like to have a word with you.
So what was going on in the world?
I'm sorry. Did you say you wanted to see a body?
Go ahead. Sorry.
What is that's Mr. Peterson. That's
This is
Sloane.
George Peterson.
That's Cameron being Sloane Stan.
Look like an ass is what he does, Ed.
Go ahead.
Can I talk or are you going to do more clips? I love the clips,
Both.
so no shade.
Both.
Okay. So what was going on in the world as far as setting the scene of about, where we were? This was 1986. Again, we talk about Reagan a lot. Reaganomics, consumerism, success, wealth, and image were everything. All the teen films were blowing up because of John Hughes. This is, again, another John Hughes movie. He was always making movies, though, about angst. And this was John Hughes's first movie about celebrating joy and freedom. So it was kind of a different take. And, achievement culture was becoming huge. And I still think we're in achievement culture, but Ferris was kind of looking at the system and saying, not me. So a few things. Lebowski. Now I'm going to go to Lebowski. Do you want to say anything about Ferris as far as setting the scene?
I did want to say one thing about Ferris. 1986. Does that sound about right?
I said 1986. I already
Great.
said the date.
And number one movie, 1986. Any guesses?
Oh, I thought that it was the
Ferris
number
was
one.
10th.
Gosh, 1986. Let me think. This was my sophomore year in high school, 85, 86, 87, 88. Maybe freshman year. I don't know. What was it?
I'm going to play a little clip.
Okay.
And it's going to tell you what it is.
Yes. Now we're talking.
Danger Zone, by far the number one. And, 35 years later, whatever it was, they came up with another number one called Top Gun Maverick.
Both good movies.
So Top Gun, number 2, Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
G'day, mate.
That's not a knife.
Platoon, Oliver Stone, Karate Kid Part 2.
Yeah.
Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. I don't even know if we saw that. Back to School. We talked about Back to School already on this podcast.
With our buddy Billy Zabka.
Aliens, then The Golden Child, then Ruthless People, which has some very funny parts to it.
It does.
And then lastly, Ferris Bueller, number 10.
Interesting. I would thought it would be higher, but I think it's just a cult classic for us Gen Xers.
Right?
Maybe it just didn't. A lot of these movies didn't hit, including Lebowski. It was not a hit in the theater either. So sometimes movies just, they come back around later or they just have staying power.
Yep.
They just never leave us.
Yep.
So yeah, that sounds good. Do you want me to move on to Lebowski?
Move on.
Okay, so The Big Lebowski, this was more, his rebellion was more about being absurd. Like he was absurd and he thought things were absurd. So The Big Lebowski was 1998, so it was a little over 10 years later than Ferris Bueller. So early 90s LA, the dude, played by our buddy Jeff Bridges, unemployed bowler, bathrobe enthusiast, he gets pulled into a crazy crime plot because somebody pees on his rug. And you know what the rug did?
Really tied the room together.
Tied the room together. And this was a problem for the dude. But the dude doesn't want to solve much. He just wants peace.
My rug.
He just wants
Tied the room together. This was a value dog.
Go ahead.
he wants his rug back.
He does.
You have to tell me when you're playing clips because I don't want to talk over them.
Yeah, but then it's going to get complicated. I'm just going to interrupt you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I
Well,
understand.
I understand. Oh, that's actually about last night.
Yes.
Different movie. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll do that one later. So again, what was going on in the world? So different time. This was like post Cold War drift. You know, there were really no major threats. There was no clear direction. There was a lot of confusion and irony. This is pre 9/11, you know, so there was kind of like a, you know, kind of a different vibe. It was like grunge, slacker culture. Basically the 80s became, we actually did a show all about a few shows ago about grunge coming in the 90s and how that changed the culture so dramatically. And, you know, nobody wanted the corporate dream anymore. It was kind of a whole different thing. And then, and of course, we have the Gulf War flashbacks because Walter likes to rant about Vietnam and justice. He's, you know, but he's applying it to the bowling league instead of, you know, real life. And then, so something that this is a little research that I did. So the movie, you know, it's such a weird movie. Like everybody talks about Lebowski, like doesn't really go anywhere and it doesn't really make sense. But it was based on Raymond Chandler. So he was the film. I'm just going to read what I wrote down. It borrows from the structure of these detective stories where a reluctant guy gets tangled into a mess he doesn't understand. It's all parody. They don't really solve the case. They just kind of move through it. And it's like, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that the Raymond Chandler thing was out there. Obviously, people who know Lebowski probably did, but I didn't know it was based on something.
A lot of big time Lebowski fans out there that probably know a lot more than you and I do.
Totally. We're going to be scratching the surface. So if you guys are like hardcore, I hope we meet some of your needs, but for those of you that know more, we totally get it.
Guess what wasn't in the top 10 in that year that it came out, 1991, I think.
1998.
Oh, 1998. Oh, I screwed up. So,
Yeah.
But look, regardless, Lebowski had a budget of 15 million and it grossed 19.5. So it barely made its money back in box office.
Right. But I bet it did in DVD.
I'll bet you it did too.
And in whatever else it does.
Yeah.
So basically, just to like sum up the dude, he's a counterculture guy. He's like a 60s activist, laid back guy who never changed.
Right.
So it's like he's this 60s guy is bringing himself into the 90s, wearing his bathrobe, drinking his White Russians, is not much different than he was. So
yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
That's not going to be the last time I play it.
Just have it ready to go. So together, if I'm going to put these movies together, like what are they saying? Like what are Todd and I talking about today on this podcast? So Ferris is a kid who sees how the machine runs, you know, how our world runs, and he wants to step out of it in a fun way. He's like, see ya. And the dude is the adult who never stepped into it in the first place.
Yep.
So it's kind of like the opposite. And he's just fine with that. So one kind of resists it with kind of a smile and like being, you know, more childlike. And the other kind of shrugs at the whole thing and they don't want to play the game.
Boom.
They're out.
Yep.
So that's the basics. Remember when?
What do you remember when, sweetie?
You couldn't wait. It's interesting. I'll be very quick because I don't have a ton here. I don't remember seeing Ferris Bueller in the theater. I know I did. I'm sure I did. But I just remember owning it, watching it all the time. All the quotes are a big part of our generation. You and I have a lot of quotes that we say in our home from this movie. And I will also say that two things that I can remember is number one, I did a palm routine to the song "Oh Yeah," which is from, you know, Ferris. And that was kind of that whole soundtrack, even though I don't even know if it was a soundtrack, we just kind of pulled the songs from it. Like, I don't remember having the Bueller soundtrack. Do you have, I sent you the song. I thought maybe you would pull it up.
I did not get that song. Which song?
You did. I sent you that email with all the clips.
Oh, I got to find that. I'm not ready for that. I did not see that. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Oh.
But go ahead and continue on and I will get that. There's all the clips.
There's all the clips.
Which
and they're
one
all ready to go. It just should say, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah, there it is.
Huh.
All right. Oh yeah.
and then stay where you are, because I also remember knowing about Sig Sig Sputnik before this movie came out, because my brother-in-law knew a lot of alternative music. Or was it him? Maybe it was my sister's friends, because I don't even know if I knew Drew then. But regardless, we had the Sig Sig Sputnik album.
Yeah,
So
and
play
I don't
that
even know
song.
what you're talking about.
I know, play it and you'll know what it is.
All right, the Sig Sputnik.
Sig Sig
Oh,
Sputnik.
good old Sig Sputnik. I didn't know.
Yes, and you've actually already heard it once when we opened the show, but this is like the actual song.
How did John Hughes choose this song?
I don't know, but it was already out in the world. Like, I knew this song, and I remember seeing the movie going, oh my God, it's Sig Sig Sputnik. So like,
you knew who these people were?
yes, but I didn't know the band. I wasn't like into them. I knew this song. It was like I was saying, I was giving Drew credit, but I don't think it was him, because I don't think Christine and Drew were together yet. But my sister knew alternative music, like some of the music that she introduced, she kind of offered me, or that she listened to, was always a little bit left of center.
I did not even know that there was a band called Sig Sputnik.
Absolutely. And
All
it's that song. So, and then I came to Lebowski very late. I did
Me
not
too.
see it in the theater. I did not get the hype. And then I think I watched it for the first time maybe 20 years ago.
Yep.
And then since then, I've watched it many, many times.
That's right.
So that's kind of mine. What's yours?
What do I got? I got just in no particular order. First of all, my sister was at the parade with my cousin Jeannie.
That's right.
For Ferris Bueller. I just want to say I never really played hooky. Missed school. The closest I came.
Senior skip day.
That doesn't count.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I hear you, but
Okay.
not in the spirit of Ferris. Ferris wouldn't consider
No.
that. The closest I came was I deliberately walked slow to day camp one time so I wouldn't have to get on the bus to go wherever we were going.
You were a rebel.
That was nuts.
You were pushing boundaries.
I also remember at the end of the movie that it's not over when you think it's over.
True, because he comes back and he says,
You're still here?
you're still here?
I always wanted to kind of replicate a day off the way Ferris did, but in the movies it's so much better. Like he does a lot.
Well, I think someone has mapped it out and it's impossible.
Yeah, I think
Like
you're right.
someone figured out as far as the drive from the suburbs, which many do not consider. But just to give you an example, we live in a suburb called Elmhurst. We are probably 15 miles tops, maybe like 12 miles from Chicago. And, if you drive in the middle of the night, I can get there in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you're driving at a normal time of day, it can take an hour to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So, that in itself is going to be a problem.
And then I'm okay with White Russians. Only one.
Todd, you cannot be okay with White Russians. That is milk.
Yeah.
We just had a conversation last weekend about how we can't drink alcohol and then have dairy.
Only one.
Why would you mix?
Only one at the beginning of the night.
But why would you put that dairy in your stomach and then have more alcohol?
Kind of tastes good.
Does it?
Yeah.
What else is in a White Russian besides milk and by the way, the reason he's talking about White Russian is that's what the dude drinks, just in case you don't know.
What's in a White Russian? Let's see what it pops up. White Russian is a classic cocktail. 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of Kahlua.
Okay, there's the sweet.
1 ounce of heavy cream. Very simple.
That's a lot of cream for a drink. I just don't think I'm in, but I will honor your.
Just a small glass at the beginning of the night.
Yeah, and the thing about the dude is he's got like a beard and a mustache, and it's just always stuck in there.
That's part of it.
It is. It's part of the charm. So going back to Bueller for a second, since we're still under Remember When, we have so many quotes that we're trying to share throughout this podcast. So I'm just going to do one right now.
Okay.
And if you go to my email that I sent you, you'll find this one. Whenever the girls get sick, or they don't feel good, Todd says the exact same thing to them no matter what, or he'll text it to them.
That's true.
And so it kind of reminds me of our history with our girls, and I want you to play.
Lie down.
Take a hot bath and then wrap a hot towel around your head.
Wrap a hot towel around my head.
And then make yourself some soup. Get a nap. Okay?
Okay.
You know, he's got the energy of Phil Dunphy.
He's total Phil
He's a
Dunphy.
Phil Dunphy.
Todd says that more than you guys would want to know.
I do. I love that. And thank you for reminding me that that line is in this movie, because I do that would be a good category under parental guidance.
It sure would.
But that's okay.
But is it helpful? Not really.
Uh,
Because are the girls like, thanks, Dad? They've heard you say it since they were 5 years old.
you want to know why it's helpful? It's helpful because it makes them smile and laugh.
It does.
But no, generally speaking, it's not a helpful idea. And that's why it's funny. Moms, I'll get in trouble with this. When I was sick, I wanted my mom around, not my dad.
Yeah.
Moms were just more nurturing, patient, loving, warm. Dads are like, oh, here you go. And they'll just like plop it on your end table or whatever. They're just not as warm. And there's plenty of dudes out there that can be as warm, if not more warm, than their female partner if they happen to have one. And there's plenty of moms out there that are not warm at all. But generally speaking, that's the deal.
And it is something that we can learn. I think a lot of men or dads have not worked that muscle as much
That's
as
right.
women have. So it's not biological, because you've told me before, like when I'm sick, you're like, I want to get you things, but I don't really want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I don't know what to say to you, so I just want to like get you things and leave.
I'm all acts of service.
Yeah. And I would like to sit with someone or rub their head, or
Sometimes you just want me to be there.
yeah, just be there. And you're like, I just got to move.
And for when I'm sick, I don't really feel like, maybe every now and again I'd like to have you there, but for the most part,
Yeah.
just let me be miserable alone.
You're like a sleeper. You're like, put something over my head.
Yeah.
You're not interested in having someone there. So I get it. So random facts.
Let's head on over to random facts.
Sounds.
I have a whole bunch of things, so I'm going to rattle some of them off.
I want to hear Jonathan one more time.
Oh, uno más. Forgot.
The human head weighs 8 pounds.
I forgot you like that one twice.
That's my favorite sound.
Yes. Ferris breaks the wall 8 times.
Okay.
Breaks the 4th wall 8 times. John Hughes wrote this in under a week.
Yes, I saw that.
Jeff Bridges wore his own clothes. The word man is said 147 times in The Big Lebowski. Who is one of the nihilists, sweetie?
Is it the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Is he one of the nihilists?
No, it's always those.
It can't be, because that was
No,
too long
right,
ago.
yeah.
It always looks like that guy to me.
Yeah.
I don't know who's one of the nihilists.
Flea.
Oh, Flea. Of
Well, I
course.
got to give it to your mama.
That's Red Hot Chili Peppers, everybody.
There's a religion based on the dude called Dudism, with over 220,000 ordained Dudist priests.
It's probably connected to Buddhism, right? Kind of
Yeah.
idea.
Roger Ebert initially gave the film 3 stars, but later upgraded it to 4.
You know, Roger Ebert has a reputation for doing that,
Yes, he does.
where he's given a review kind of
And-
based on initial vibes and then changed it.
Entertainment Weekly ranked the dude the 14th greatest character of the last 20 years.
I agree with that.
This is interesting. While being a member of the bowling team, the dude has never seen bowling.
What about Donnie?
Donnie bowls. He's like, I'm throwing rocks tonight.
And he's like, Donnie, you're out of your element.
Heading on over to Ferris. Alan Ruck, is that his name?
Alan Rock, yeah.
Guess how old he was when he filmed this movie?
25?
29. He was
Wow.
only 6 years younger than John Hughes at the time.
Connor Roy.
That's right. According to John Hughes, a scene at the Art Institute was a self-indulgent scene of mine, which was a place of refuge for me.
You can feel it by the music he chose.
Tells you a little something about John Hughes. Like some kids go to ball games, some kids go to the arcades. This dude went to the Art Institute of Chicago.
And probably because of where he lived, like I'm more like him. I like libraries. I like bookstores. I like museums. I like quiet places.
Ben Stein, he's
I
the
do.
teacher.
Bueller.
He has that lecture, and that was completely impromptu. That he just started talking off camera, and John Hughes said, "Say that again on camera."
Voodoo.
Something DOO economics, and then finally,
Did you notice the other night, we're rewatching Stranger Things right now? Did you notice the Bueller thing in Stranger Things? Where they were all in the classroom and their teacher is talking to them, and it's the same, like the girl blows the bubble. Like it's a total, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're doing a Ferris Bueller scene.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anderson,
Here.
Bueller, 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 Bueller.
He's sick. My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend.
Who's that actress, sweetie?
Christy Swanson.
Christy Swanson. Whatever happened to her?
I don't know. She was in a lot of things.
She was.
She's Buffy.
Last thing. There's a scene that was cut. Ferris had a younger brother and sister,
Huh.
both of whom were completely removed from the film, and additional lines of dialogue throughout the film, all of which can be seen in the original theatrical trailer. And then Hughes also wanted to film a scene where Ferris, Sloane, and Cameron go to a strip club.
Doesn't
then
seem like them.
Paramount executives told them there were only so many shooting days left, so the scene was scrapped. I don't know if I believe that. It's such a different movie.
Well, I mean, I could see them going for fun and to shock Cameron.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I guess I could see it, but I'm glad they didn't.
Anything else on Random Facts?
Yeah. So a few things. Charlie Sheen, who plays the guy, he has an uncredited role in Ferris Bueller.
And is this his first role too?
No, he was in Red Dawn.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
a couple years before, but he stayed awake for 48 hours before he played that role so he could look really wiped out, you know, and exhausted. A little bit of method acting there. So are you going to play something? I
If
kind of
you-
watch your face. Yeah, go ahead.
I hate my brother. How's that? It's cool. Did you blow him away or something? No, not yet.
He actually has some pretty good advice in this scene.
He does. Well, it's kind of that thing where he's the one who's supposed to be kind of like a delinquent, but he has more information. Except I don't like, even though I get it and it fits the movie, I'm not saying it's a screenplay problem, but I don't like that after she tells him the whole story, he's like, there's someone you should talk to.
I know.
And then she's like, if you say
You got to
Ferris
tie it
Bueller-
together.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't feel like that guy would say that.
Your problem is you.
Excuse me?
Excuse you.
Excuse you.
You want to spend a little more time dealing with yourself, a little less time worrying about what your brother does.
So that is in refuting your hot take in that I think that's really sound advice.
It is. I'm not saying Jeannie's choices were good.
Okay.
I'm saying Jeannie had a right to be annoyed.
Totally
I
agree.
think she becomes kind of the villain.
Yep.
You know, Ed Rooney's the villain, but she becomes kind of the problem. And yes, she plays it, you know, Jennifer Grey plays it with an attitude and everything. I get it. But for someone like me who feels like things should be a little more fair.
Yeah.
Jeannie didn't get
She got the car though.
She did, but he got a computer.
Big whoop.
He was able to like
You know how many
pretend.
computers you could buy for a car?
He was able to do the pretend snoring.
And he wouldn't have the day off without the computer.
This is my point.
There you go.
So a few other things. Save Ferris as far as that line. And, you know, my daughter, when she was like 9 years old, had a Save Ferris shirt.
Yeah.
I don't even know if she knew what that meant yet. But it's also, it's kind of pop culture shorthand for sympathy. You know what I mean? Like we all know what it means. Cameron's house is actually a real house in Highland Park, and it's now a landmark.
Yep.
It's got landmark status. So let's go to Lebowski. The dude is based on a real guy named Jeff Dowd, who was a political activist. Oh, wait. Did you do your Big Lebowski takes yet?
It was all intermingled. So
Okay. So based on a real guy who was a political activist, film promoter that called himself the Dude, and he was friends with the Coen brothers because the Coen brothers did Lebowski, if you guys didn't know that. The word, you know, you were talking about times, the word dude is said 160 times in the movie, once every 90 seconds. As you said, he wore his own clothes, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you said that Jeff Bridges never bowls or the dude never bowls, but I even have info that says no pins are ever knocked down on screen.
Oh, interesting.
You can hear it. Like, what's John Turturro's guy?
Jesus?
Yeah. He, like, you see him get ready to bowl, but you don't
I
see.
feel like Donnie's throwing strikes, but maybe they don't show the pins.
Well, and, you know, sometimes the research,
Yeah.
it could be questionable.
It is flawed.
It can be flawed. And then a really interesting random fact that I just learned is I've been listening to, you know, I'm a Sex and the City fan and I watch And Just Like That. And I have many thoughts about that. Maybe we'll talk about that show later. But Sarah Jessica Parker has been doing a lot of interviews about Sex and the City. And she just said that in the first season of Sex and the City, I don't know if you remember this, but they have Carrie talking back to the camera. She's like a narrator.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember that?
Yeah,
Then
they break
cut
the
that.
fourth wall. in that first season.
Exactly. And in season 2, they do it first or second episode, then they stop.
Yeah.
They stop interviewing people on the street, etc. But part of the reason Sarah Jessica Parker did not like doing that, did not like it at all, is she and Matthew Broderick had just gotten married, and she felt like they were trying to have her do a Ferris Bueller thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so she's like, let me stay far away from that narration thing, since that's what my husband is known for.
Sure.
But they also got married, Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick, like 1 week before she started filming Sex and the City.
They seem to be a couple that will always be together.
Yes, for sure.
And I have said that so many times, only to be disappointed that some couple like, no, really? So anyways.
This seems like, we don't know, but I'm agreeing with you that they seem like they're going to make it. Also, I have a question for you. It's not necessarily a random fact, but I just thought I'd throw it in.
Okay.
Who do you think Sam Elliott's character is supposed to be in The Big Lebowski? Like, what is your take on who the stranger is? Like, what do you think he's supposed to represent?
I don't know if I've really said it. I've never really thought about it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he's a narrator. He's obviously a narrator.
Right.
He kind of, someone said something like, he is doing what the Coen brothers wish they could do to guide you through the story.
Yeah.
And he's also kind of a little bit of a guardian angel and someone who's kind of watching out for the dude, because he does have a scene with
at the very
Jeff Bridges.
end.
Yeah. So he's, there is some realism there. But anyway, anything else?
I just want to play this really quick.
The dude abides.
Is that the last line in the movie or no? I don't even.
No, I think that Jeff Bridges says it a few times.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know the movie that extraordinarily well. All right, so we ready for the next category?
So this is WTF.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
All right.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
So I only have one big one.
Let's hear it.
And it's about one of the actors in the movie.
Which one?
Ferris Bueller.
Okay, so I'm going to go through it.
Any idea who you think I might be talking about?
I think you're talking about Jeffrey Jones.
I am.
Yes, who plays Ed Rooney.
In November 2002, he was arrested and charged with violating California Penal Code section blah 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 of a minor to perform prohibitive use of a minor to perform prohibitive acts. He subsequently
Sweetie, that word prohibitive is hurting you.
I know. He subsequently pled no contest to the charge of inducing a 14-year-old boy to pose for sexually explicit photos and was sentenced to 5 years probation and ordered to register as a sex offender. That's sad.
That's rough. Yeah.
So that is my one WTF. I thought I had a few others, but you can go ahead.
Let me see if there's any. I mean, there's a lot of WTF in Lebowski.
Well,
I mean, the whole scene, the whole like video scene, the whole music scene, is a little WTF.
What about Walter pulling the gun over over a bowling game, pulling a gun out?
Walter is WTF.
Yes, he is.
He, I want to like do quotes right now, but some of them I'm using in different categories. So, the dream sequence is rough. Everything that Walter says is kind of rough. The whole, his projection, he's always projecting on other people. One thing before I'm going to go finish with Lebowski, I want to say something about Ferris Bueller. His parents, and again, this is like quintessential 80s, but oblivious.
No doubt about it.
So WTF, like the parents are so like, they believe him that he's sick. There's a scene where, they're in Chicago, like Sloane and, they all see that the dad is next to them in a cab when they're in a cab or whatever. He's in a car or something. And he looks over and sees them, and Sloane like kind of blows him a kiss or whatever, or like, and how does he not recognize his
I totally agree with
son's girlfriend?
Totally agree with you.
Like that's Sloane. And then, so anyway, there's a lot of obliviousness. He's in his office when Ferris is singing Twist and Shout, and he's just like dancing. He doesn't even know. And then, of course, they get home like right before.
It's just showing that Ferris leads a charmed life.
He does. And again, that's like the John Hughes thing. The parents in 16 Candles, they weren't awful, but they were pretty oblivious to what was going on
A lot of
with her.
oblivious parents.
Yeah, you know, Breakfast Club, obviously.
Sweetie,
So
we're not that oblivious, are we?
I hope not.
I hope not too.
I hope not. But in the Breakfast Club, remember the janitor, the guy's like,
Carl.
yeah, he's kind of like, you are those people now.
Yeah.
You know, you are the people that we used to make fun of. Or he says something in that. I'm not doing the quote right, but
Do you want to hear a little bit of Walter?
Please.
Earmuff it for those young ears here.
Okay.
What the fuck is this?
Obviously, you're not a golfer.
He peed on the dude's rug.
Donnie, you're out of your element. Oh. This is what happens when you fucking danger in here, dude.
My rug.
Forget it, Donnie, you're out of your element.
I love forget it, Donnie, you're out of your element.
Oh,
Donnie.
Who's the best? I mean, John Goodman. Jeez Louise, he brings it.
Well, I was thinking about that, about how, like, I was watching the scene, that scene in the bowling alley when he's first telling about the rug.
Yeah.
And I'm watching John Goodman, and how did he, I mean, again, I guess this is just acting, but how did he know how to play that guy? Like, I just wonder, because he's so physical. He's so like, but it is over the top, but it's not so over the top that he's like not good.
Right.
It's like exactly. And Walter sometimes starts out really calm. And then once he starts talking about things, he gets so elevated. And the dude, if you notice, the dude gets mad certain times, but he never gets like that.
Well, even at one of my favorite moments is when they're spreading the ashes. He's so mad at Walter and still hugs him. It's
Right.
sweet.
Right. Okay. So I think that's the gist of WTF.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Are we ready for best quotes?
Best scene.
Best scene. Best
I think
quote.
best quotes.
Oh yeah,
at the
best
end.
scene. You're
Yeah, best scene.
Hey, Dad, you must have jumped this thing about 50 yards.
That's nothing to be proud of, Rusty.
50 yards.
I don't know if this is my favorite scene, but it's certainly my favorite quote.
Let's hear it.
Come on, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, it's right here.
Man, I've got certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light. And, you know, has it ever occurred to you that instead of, running around blaming me, given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it might not be just such a simple, what in the holy name are you blathering about?
Oh my God. That is so good.
Things have come to light.
Oh my God.
So funny. I love him so much. I just love Jeff Bridges so much. And he's so like, he talks about being the dude or whatever, and he's really not that far from this guy.
You know who this reminds me of, at least that scene?
Who?
Right here.
Market gains traction. There's no way.
This is Fred Armisen on SNL playing Nick Fane.
This is classic. The Washington Post. This was great. Right on the front page. Federal workers' pay could bump up 0.5%.
One more.
I thought of you guys.
I thought of you guys.
I was on my way here, and you're gonna love this or hate it. New York Times, the great New York Times, tweak in rule to ease a path to green card. Now, this is exactly the moment that if I were to take a poll, and I don't mean any poll, I don't mean the kind of poll, I mean, I would never be the first person. I don't think anyone, as long as any poll taker.
Oh, I love Nick Fane.
Nick Fane, that's old school, babe.
So what happened first, Nick Fane or that line from Lebowski?
I don't know, but they have a similar rhythm, but it's not the same.
No, it's
because
not.
Nick Fane's is more about how people really have no idea what they're talking about when they're, and where I think
I've got certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light, and has it ever occurred to you that instead of running around.
That's so good. Jeff Bridges.
In the car.
They're in the limousine.
And is Philip Seymour Hoffman
Yes,
there?
he
I can
is.
picture it.
Yes.
They're like, what
Oh my
are you
God.
talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so funny. So mine, so I'll kind of go a little lighter here. My favorite scene in Ferris Bueller is very traditional. It is the art museum. So I gave you a clip just so you can play the music because we obviously can't see it.
Okay.
But the music kind of gives you the vibe.
It is like there's a pause in the movie.
There is.
Like everybody, like, let's collect ourselves, stop laughing for a second, and just
Let's
lose it.
appreciate.
Yeah. It makes you want to go to the Art Institute of Chicago.
It does. And everybody should. And we get to see two things there.
It's very melancholy.
It's very, yes.
And then they zero in on Cameron.
That's what I was going to say. There's two things that happen there. Three things. Number one, they have fun. They're with the kids, they hold the hands. And then Cameron looks at the picture and sees himself as a dot, which we can read in many ways. And then also Ferris and Sloane kiss, so you see their relationship.
Yep.
And so there's just a lot of, it's their deeper selves are in the
Sweetie,
museum.
unanswerable question. How long until Ferris and Sloane break up?
Oh boy. Well, she's a junior.
Yeah.
And he's a senior.
Yeah.
Not
Not unheard of to stay together through that.
Not in our family.
Yeah. Right.
A lot of people stay together. I don't know. I assume that who knows what Ferris is going to do? Is he going to play the game and go to college? Like, did he do that? Maybe he's probably like a congressman now or something.
Right.
Like that's how things change. I don't know. I have no take on that.
Are we ready for ZPR?
No, we have to just either play or have me read my favorite scene in Lebowski, which you kind of already alluded to, which is the eulogy. And I sent it to you.
Yeah, I got it.
So just play some of it.
All right.
Wisdom, Lord, you took him. As you took so many bright, flowering young men at Quezon, at Londoc, at Hill 364. These young men gave their lives. So Donnie. Donnie, who loved bowling. And so Theodore Donald Karabatsos, in accordance with what we think your dying wishes might well have been, we commit your final mortal remains to the bosom of the Pacific Ocean, which you love so well. Good night, sweet prince.
That's my favorite. Good night, sweet prince.
Good night, sweet prince.
Oh, and there go the ashes.
The ashes are now all.
And his response, and Lebowski, the dude is just like not even reacting to it.
Well, especially because you started it when Walter is supposed to be doing a eulogy for Donnie, and then he starts talking about everyone in Vietnam again. That's
You fucking asshole.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Travesty with you, man.
I'm sorry. It was an accident.
What was that shit about Vietnam? What the fuck does anything have to do with Vietnam?
I'm sorry.
What are you talking about?
Dude, I'm sorry.
sorry.
And John Goodman, his
So
character, falls into like little boy in that
He
moment.
does. He's like,
He
so
feels like he's
sorry.
getting in trouble. So,
I know.
anyways, that's a wonderful scene, sweet.
Good night, sweet prince. Okay, I'm ready for Zen parenting, babe.
Right. Now we head on over here. All right.
Okay.
So, you want to start? Go ahead.
Sure. So as we remember, Rolling in the Deep is about the emotional depth of these, movies because everything has emotional depth if you look for it. So let's talk about what these guys are doing. So Ferris isn't lazy, right? He's deliberate.
Yep.
He's doing these things on purpose. His day off is calculated. He's reclaiming his time, as they say in Congress, in a culture that's so obsessed with structure and, achievement and everything. He's saying, and appearances, he's saying, nope, I'm not going to do it. So his world, as we haven't even done his most famous quote, which is life moves pretty fast. You have to You have to stop and look around once in a while?
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around,
You might miss it. Thank you. So basically, he's saying time is precious, especially when you're young. And I think, it's so fun that Todd and I were young when we watched this, right? It was like kind of a wake up call. Like, let's do some things that we enjoy. That success isn't about grades or obedience, that doing nothing is actually about doing everything, focusing on, who you love and art and, the Cubs game and all the things that they did, that slowing down doesn't mean falling behind. Sometimes it means becoming more clear. I mean, let's think about the movie is a movie, and I get that, but think about all that was learned in that day. Think about what Jeannie experienced. Think about what Cameron experienced. Did they get behind or did they get ahead? And that skipping, kind of breaking the rules occasionally can make you feel more alive, because that's really what Ferris was looking for. He wanted to be more alive. So it's very Gen X. Anything you want to say deep about Ferris?
This is the deepest moment in many, many movies right here.
My old man pushes me around. I never say anything. Well, he's not the problem. I'm the problem. I gotta take a stand. I gotta take a stand against him. I am not gonna sit on my ass as the events that affect me unfold to determine the course of my life. I'm gonna take a stand. I'm gonna defend it. Right or wrong, I'm gonna defend it.
It's such and now he's going to just kick the shit out of the car. Once again, the movie just turns on a dime. Like, we're laughing, this is fun. And then all of a sudden, and then there's that scene where he like pretends to be drowning in that pool.
Yes.
There's so many like deep scenes with Cameron, and
because it's not, that scene it didn't probably get as much attention before, but it wouldn't be crazy to Sloane and Ferris that he would hurt himself in the pool. Like he didn't, and he thought it was kind of funny initially, but they did not think it was funny. Cheetah.
I'm so sick of his shit.
I remember when I was watching this as a kid, I'm like, stop it, don't do it. Now as an adult, I'm like, keep going.
Yeah.
Like, get that you're gonna have to do this hopefully before you die, which is repair a father wound from a father who doesn't love him. And he's getting it done earlier than the most of us do. He's like, he's supposed to be 17 years old or whatever. So as an adult, I see that scene so differently.
He still has a lot to unwind. Like, I'm sorry to be the therapist here, but even if he confronts his dad, he's learned so much anxiety.
For sure, but he has taken that first.
Yeah.
Is he going to take a bigger step than this one ever? Like,
maybe not.
He doesn't know he's about to destroy his dad's $100,000 car.
$300,000 car in
Yikes.
today's standard.
Yes. And then the fact that Ferris goes to bat for him, saying, we'll stay home, we'll stay here, I'll take all the heat.
Yeah. Because
which is great.
he should.
Which he should, right.
Like, as much as it's a friendship thing to do, he made Cameron take that car out. He made Cameron come to his house. Like, again, Cameron could have had choices, but he Cameron's an interesting character.
He sure
is. He, as Todd said, he is the main character. So let's go into the deeper message of Lebowski. So his doing nothing, again, this show is about the art of doing nothing, is more of a spiritual resistance to control. Like, he's a much more, again, the Dudism, that's connected to Buddhism. Like, he is going to do his own thing. Nothing makes sense. Let's stop pretending it does. People overreach and they posture and they lie. And he just wants his rug back, Todd.
Yeah,
just give me my rug back.
Ties the room together.
And detachment is survival. And him abiding is his wisdom. And he, what he believes is that life is kind of absurd. So let's meet it with some softness instead of push against it. The nihilists, they thought life was absurd too, but they still wanted to win and they still wanted to be right. And they were still kind of struggling with life being absurd, the nihilists. And again, if you guys don't remember the movie, there's these nihilists in the movie that cause problems. And like bring a ferret or something.
They sure do. That was one of the trivia questions.
Oh, whoops.
That's all right, babe.
So the dude believes that your worth isn't tied to your ambition or success, that just being enough is enough, which is pretty profound. You know what the dude loves to do? He loves bathrobes. He loves to take baths. He smokes a lot of weed. He likes his White Russians. He likes bowling. He likes his friends. He keeps it real and simple. And you know what he doesn't like?
What's that?
He doesn't like the Eagles.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's one of my quotes later, though, so we'll hold off on that.
Okay, you got anything else?
No, I think that's good. We can go to parental guidance.
Like you. And the cats and the cradle and the shoes.
Yeah, so parental guidance. Obviously, although we never meet Cameron's dad, here's how not to parent a child.
To be indifferent to them. I think.
Well, that's like Ali Sheedy's character from Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
They ask her, "What do they do to you?" And she says, "They ignore me." And that's exactly what happens with.
So obviously John Hughes had some issues, right? And I mean that with great love, because what he did with his issues is he wrote a lot of screenplays. I was just telling Todd the other day that, when he wrote Pretty in Pink, he wanted that movie to end a certain way. If you guys don't know this trivia, you probably already do, but it was supposed to end up that Molly Ringwald and Andy and Ducky were supposed to end up together. But because Ducky was replaced with John Cryer came in when Robert Downey Jr. dropped out of playing Ducky, and they just didn't feel like they had the same kind of chemistry. They had more of a friendship chemistry. So he changed the end of the movie and had Blaine be the guy she ends up with, Andrew McCarthy. So he's like, okay, whatever, test audiences like it. So then he wrote a screenplay called Some Kind of Wonderful, and he flipped the genders, but had it end the way he wanted to, which was he had at the end, what's his name, ends up with Watts instead of ending up with Amanda Jones. So I said, what's his name? I don't remember Eric Stoltz's name in that movie.
Kenneth?
Maybe it is. How'd you know that? Isn't it funny when things come into your head? So he basically did another movie and he made it the way he wanted to. So he has very repetitive themes.
Yep.
And so you're so right that in Breakfast Club, Ali Sheedy's character is so similar to Cameron's character.
Totally. And I didn't put that together until we just started talking about it. So,
exactly.
yeah.
So anything else you want?
I got nothing.
Okay. So just a few things we've already said that I'm just reiterating. Ferris isn't acting out because he's bad. He just wants to be more alive. He's like, what people are working on right now is not doing it for me. As you said, Cameron is the emotional heart of the film. The parents are oblivious to what's going on. And, I guess the things we can take away from it is that our kids don't need constant oversight. We just need to trust them that they can kind of figure out their lives and that they have some viewpoints and some goals and some things that they want to do, and that their rebellion isn't always about breaking rules. They're not always trying to push against us. It's about they're trying to find their own selfhood.
Yep.
And so sometimes when they do things that we're like, but that's not the rules. I understand. And maybe there will, for a lot of families, it's like, sorry, there's a consequence. But sometimes it's interesting to listen about why they're doing what they're doing and what they need. Because when kids don't feel safe to be themselves at home, they're going to try and find that freedom somewhere else. They're going to push against you, and it's often in performative and really risky ways. And so if you can kind of understand their development, this is basically, we have 800 and something podcasts that you can just go back and listen to.
Our archives. I just did a search for most oblivious parents in Gen X movies.
Okay.
Some I agree with, some I don't agree with.
Ferris's are definitely in there.
Ferris is number one.
Yes.
Kevin's parents from Home Alone.
Definitely.
They might take the cake.
And again, when you see the movies in Home Alone, when you watch Home Alone, there are reasons why they don't know that Kevin's with them, because they count that kid's head and he's sleeping in the attic. But still, how do you not see?
Andy's dad in Pretty in Pink.
For sure. Well, he's an addict.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing.
I feel like that's and what about Andy's mom? She didn't do that good of a job either. She bailed, which is interesting.
She's gone.
That's what's interesting, John Hughes, because usually it's the rich girl and the poor boy.
Right.
But instead it was the rich boy and the poor girl. And it's usually the dad that bails.
Yes, and it was the mom.
And it's the mom. Marty McFly's parents,
pretty oblivious until they come back to the future, meaning until they have a better life.
I don't agree with this one. The Walsh parents in the Goonies.
I don't have any comment. I don't know that.
Josh's parents from Big.
Well, where is his dad? We've talked about that.
I don't think we meet his dad. And his mom is a caring mom. So
his dad is in the kitchen.
Oh, really?
We just never hear what he has to say.
Interesting.
So the mom, Mercedes Rule, I think plays his mom. She of course cares, and she's freaks out and everything.
How do you know that lady's?
She won an Academy Award for something else.
What about Daniel LaRusso's mom, sweetie?
No, she knew. She didn't know what was going on, though. She was close to him, but she kind of forced him.
I think she was a good mom.
Yeah, but she didn't know what was going on until the tournament. Right? Where was she?
Before the tournament, she was dropping him off at golf and stuff, sweetie. She was a hands-on parent.
You know what? She said, push the car, and then it'll start.
Well, and I think she's like, do you drive stick? And there's no way that station wagon would stick. So anyways.
And you know what? She did. Didn't his girlfriend? What's her name?
Allie.
Allie
with an I.
Allie with an I did drive stick.
That's right. Okay, are we ready for the next category?
No, because I wanted to say a few things about Lebowski.
Go ahead.
So just a few things. These are just things to consider. It's just fun thoughts. Walter is like a walking lesson of projection. You know, he hijacks every situation, talks about Vietnam all the time, overreacts, pulls other people into his unresolved past. That's the kind of parenting we do when we don't do our own healing. So he projects it onto everybody else. The dude is the opposite. We know that. And then this is interesting. This is kind of sweet. I'm going to talk about Donnie for a second, who Steve Buscemi plays. He's the silent child.
Okay.
In the group. He's like the figure of like the third child or the fourth child or the one who nobody really recognizes. He's kind, he's unsure, he's dismissed by Walter, he's pretty much ignored. His death is totally chaotic and awkward, and no one knows how to deal with him or grieve him. So I just kind of saw him as like, remember to pay attention, that everybody needs some attention and validation.
Totally agree.
Okay, what did it teach us?
What did it teach us? I got a bunch of random stuff.
Me too. I have 3 random things.
Just, I guess, life lessons, right? So
okay.
Let me scroll down. What did it teach us? Life moves pretty fast. Thank you, Ferris.
Yeah.
What about this? Stillness is not laziness.
It isn't.
But the dude was kind of lazy.
He wasn't working in the air quotes. But he, the dude is a representation. It's not like, I don't know where he got his money or how he did what he did. But he did have a sense of understanding that life was to be enjoyed.
Friendship and loyalty matter. A lot of good friendship.
In both movies.
And then sometimes the plot doesn't matter, just the vibe. And that's all about Lebowski.
It is. It doesn't. And again, as we said, it's based on those, what did I call it? Those books. I wrote it down somewhere. Raymond Chandler, Noir, so, there was somewhat of they were tracking that. So I have a few, one that I thought you'd think is really interesting. It's kind of like masculinity in crisis as far as Lebowski goes.
Yeah.
So Walter is stuck into the past, hasn't healed. He's, dealing with anger. The big Lebowski, the other Lebowski.
The old guy?
The old Lebowski. Yeah, the guy in the wheelchair. He's performing masculinity through his wealth and authority, all the things that you're supposed to be. And then, but the dude lets all that go.
Let's go of the rope.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to do any of this performative stuff that you guys do, and he survives and thrives.
It's fair to say that the dude smoked weed every day throughout the day.
And maybe we can say he was numbing.
Yeah,
maybe that's fair.
Yeah. Fair to say.
Fair to say.
Numbing some pain that we'll never realize where it came from or what it stemmed from.
Or what maybe he doesn't feel great about everything. Who knows? He's a character. I like him. So abiding, this is interesting. Abiding as a philosophy. Okay, so we were talking about the dude abides. So when the stranger says the dude abides, and again, that may be the only time he says it because it says the stranger says it. So you might be right. It's really the moral of the story. To abide is not to check out. It's to remain grounded, even when everything feels ridiculous. And it's like kind of a low-key, as Skylar would say, low-key wisdom, a way to live without needing to escape.
Yeah.
And, you know, I put this in here from, I don't know why I put it here, but I'm going to read it anyway.
Go
This
ahead.
is from,
Nobody's keeping track of that.
we're going back and forth. Everybody's like, which movie are we talking about? So Ferris Bueller, there's a great quote that I think is important to read that Ferris says about Cameron. He says, Cameron has never been in love. At least nobody's ever been in love with him. If things don't change for him, he's going to marry the first girl he lays, and she's going to treat him like shit because she will have given him what he has built up in his mind as the end all be all of human existence. She won't respect him because you can't respect somebody who kisses your ass. It just doesn't work. It's kind of deep.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and what I love is they show, as he's saying that in the movie, they're showing clips of Cameron.
Yeah.
Isn't he like throwing stuff into his mouth or something like that?
Yes, he is.
And then the last thing, going back to Lebowski, is I already talked about this. The nihilists, they are total contrast with the dude because they're also detached. That's what it means to be a nihilist. But the dude does it with humility, humor, and some inner peace. And the nihilists are just angry and hollow and posturing.
Yeah, if they don't believe in anything, they sure are angry about something.
Right. I actually wrote this quote. The nihilists are what happens when you believe in nothing but still need to win. The dude is what happens when you believe in nothing but you still care.
Yeah.
You know?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Are we ready for best quotes?
Sure.
All right, let's do that.
May the force be with you.
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 Now, I don't know if this is the best quote, but this is the one that I've said to my friend Casey since this movie came out. And
Which
I met
movie?
him in the early 90s. Ferris Bueller.
Okay, let's hear it.
You're not dying. You just can't think of anything good to do.
We say that to each other all the time. We'll just text each other that line. I don't know why.
Do it again.
You're not dying. You just can't think of anything good to do.
Well, what's great about that scene is
Dying.
Cameron is saying that. Ferris can't hear him say that, but he knows he's saying that because he knows him so well.
So I thought it would be, he's going to call me.
He'll keep calling me.
Keep calling me.
He'll keep calling me. This is ridiculous. I'll go.
Yes. So I will start then with Lebowski, and I sent it to you, and it's one of my favorites.
Hold on one second.
Oh, okay.
I'm so disappointed in Cameron. $20 says he's sitting in his car debating about whether or not he should go out. Keep calling me.
Calling me.
He'll keep calling me until I come over. He'll make me feel guilty. This is ridiculous. Okay, I'll go. Shit.
Sweet Cameron. All right, you ready for some of your lines?
So Lebowski, if you go to my email, it says something about a toe.
Want a toe? I can get you a toe.
Get you a toe.
Believe me. There are ways, dude. You don't want to know about it. Believe me.
Yeah, but Walter.
Hell, I can get you a toe by 3 o'clock this afternoon with nail polish.
With nail polish.
Walter.
Can you hear the dude being like,
Amateur.
Walter?
He's so mad. Are you ready for the other one?
Yes.
Jesus, man. Did you change the channel?
Fuck you, man. If you like my fucking music, get your own fucking cab.
I had a really
I'll
rough,
pull up to the side and kick your ass out.
man, come on. I had a rough night and I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
I think Jeff Bridges ran into Don Henley at some point, and Don Henley was a little bit less than enthusiastic about that line.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know the quote.
I don't know if that's true. I remember somebody saying something about it.
If you play the one about "That's Your Opinion, Man," play that one again.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Because you got to listen to the background.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
It always sounds like there's Hotel California is
I
playing
don't
in
think
the
it's
background.
Hotel Cal.
You don't?
Let's give it one more.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion.
It is. It's a different version
It's a
of
different
Hotel
version
California.
of Hotel California.
Very
Yeah.
good, sweetie.
Well, I got a good ear.
Well done.
Okay, so I kind of just read my favorite quote from Ferris Bueller about, what he says about Cameron. And there's so many, and we're going to finish this podcast and be like, oh my gosh, wait a second. What about this thing that he says? But we can only do what we can do.
That's right. Are we ready for the next category?
Yeah, I think it's music game. Or no, it's cringe or classic.
Yeah.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Well, I don't have anything for I think they're both
I think they're
classics.
classic.
Anything about the movies you want to weigh in on, whether it's cringy or classic or no?
Well, I mean, they're both. I mean, Lebowski's a cult classic for sure. I
Yep.
think Ferris Bueller is a generational classic. I think it's in that John Hughes, box, and
Yeah.
we just love all of them, and they're meaningful to us. And I feel really, really grateful that I got to grow up with all the John Hughes movies. I know some of them have questionable things in them, as all things do. We just, when you're hearing this, you will have heard our podcast about the Revenge of the Nerds. We did one a few weeks ago, and that has a lot of questionable stuff too, and weird science. When you know better, you do better. But I also think that they connect us, these movies, us Gen Xers.
Yep.
Everybody's seen them. And then Lebowski is just a cult classic. Everybody who has seen it obsesses over it.
Are we ready for music game?
I am.
Let's do music game. This will be interesting to see who wins this one.
I know.
Because I feel like I kind of have a good one.
You do. You've been crushing in the music game.
I don't know about that.
The one that makes me go all night long.
So this is the category where we try to encapsulate the vibe of this podcast, that these two movies, into a song, and to not make it obvious and to come up with something different. I'm going to play yours first.
All right. Can I talk about it
Do
first?
you want to defend first, or
Well,
do you want
I'm going to say something. I was trying to choose between two.
Mm-hmm.
And they both had completely different vibes. There's this one, which you're about to play, but the other one I almost chose was Mazzy Star, Fade Into You.
Okay.
But I didn't choose it because it definitely captured that vibe of doing nothing and a haziness, but it felt too 90s and too Lebowski. So I tried to choose something that kind of encapsulated both of them.
Okay.
And that's this song. And it's not going to start for a minute, so I'm just going to say it's simple. They're only talking about having fun. It's by all these guys who are kind of like chill and dudes, and it's enjoyable.
I was lying on Sunday morning of last week. Doubting myself.
I think that's a good entry,
It's
sweetie.
called Steal My Sunshine by Len. And I thought it kind of grabbed them both because they, maybe it's a little more Ferris. I think Mazzy Star, Fade Into You is a little more Lebowski, and this is a little more Ferris. But
Okay.
but this is a song from the 90s. So that's the way I was grabbing Lebowski. But they both are don't steal my sunshine.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
I did not go so obvious, but first of all, this was
Obvious. Did I go obvious?
Well, no, like the 90s thing.
Okay.
So I went
Okay.
with from a different decade.
Different era.
But I think that these two movies lends themselves easily to this song part of our category game because, the dude, Ferris Bueller, so anyways, this is mine. Here we go.
Good.
To save me from ruin.
Good.
When I say that I'm okay, well, they look at me kind of strange. Surely you're not happy now, you no longer play the game.
Okay, that's a good quote.
People say
So I am going to say that's great, but it fits the dude more than
the dude,
Ferris.
a
Mine
little
fits Ferris.
Yes, I agree.
watch them roll.
So yeah, the dude sits around and watches the wheels go around. Ferris is on the go. So
Right.
it's not.
I like the quote, I no longer play the game, because Ferris doesn't play the game
That's
either.
true.
So you're capturing. So that was really good.
Oh, thank
but
you.
I don't know that it was better than mine.
Okay, well, we'll have to have the audience, the
So
listenership.
can you bring up really quick? Can you bring up, and I'm totally in with my Steal My Sunshine,
Yeah.
but pull up Mazzy Star, Fade Into You and see
Okay.
what you think.
All right.
I think it's more the dude. I just couldn't get it to fit Ferris in my mind.
You live your life, you go where shadow. You'll come apart and you'll go black.
What do you think?
I like the first one.
Okay, good. I'm glad I feel good about my pick, but I just,
It just seems a little dark. And watching the wheels is kind of like, I don't know, melancholy, I guess, where Steal My Sunshine is the enthusiastic, optimistic
yeah.
pieces of these movies. So
Yeah. So we grabbed them both.
yeah, we did.
Let's see who wins.
All right, you ready for some rapid fire trivia?
Let's go.
What car is destroyed in Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Is it a Ferrari?
Any bonus points if you can say exactly what kind of Ferrari?
5, 28, 32, 16. I don't know.
A 250 GT California.
Yeah, that I wouldn't know that.
We already talked about this, but I'll ask it anyways. What drink defines the dude?
White Russian?
What school does Ferris attend?
I don't remember.
I believe it's Shermer High School.
No.
I believe it is.
For real?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fictitious high school, and I think he just throws it in.
So for everybody, if you haven't listened to all of our podcasts, Shermer High School is in Breakfast Club, Shermer High School is in Weird Science, and now Shermer High School is in Ferris.
We've covered each of these trivia questions, but I'll ask anyways. What's the pet in the dude's tub?
Ferret.
And what does the dude hate?
The Eagles, man.
What alias does Ferris use when calling the restaurant?
Abe Froman.
Very good.
Sausage King of Chicago.
Name of Ferris's principal?
Ed Rooney. Rooney.
What's the last thing Ferris says to the camera?
Go home.
Very good. You're still here. It's over. Go home. What's the dude's real first name?
Jeffrey.
Very good. What does Donnie keep getting told throughout the movie?
You're out of your element.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. What kind of therapy?
So funny.
Because it's good
John
it's
Goodman.
delivery. Last but not least, what kind of therapy does Marty invite the dude to? Remember, they're watching the stage performance. It's some like random.
I don't remember.
It's just a random. It's just such a weird scene. Like they go to their landlord's stage performance, and he's
right.
really,
He's like, I gotta go.
really untalented people doing this thing. So, anyways, we didn't talk about a closing song. Do you have any thoughts about a closing song?
You know, I think we'll just go classic and we'll do the parade.
Oh,
yeah, because, you know, one thing I'll say again, we were talking about remember when and way back when, but some friends of mine who I went to high school with were in one of the backyards that Ferris jumps through, and that was kind of their claim to fame. So everybody from Chicago always has like a connection to someone who was in this movie. And obviously your sister was here for this parade moment, and it's one of the best scenes of all time, really.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
What are you interested in?
No.
Me neither. I'll be the same. Darkest day. You're crazy. What do you think Ferris is gonna do?
Could be a fry cook on Venus.
Well,